Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of Sports Advisors, the interviews. My name is Steve Budin, President and CEO of the largest sports analysis company in the world, and joining me today are my two most popular handicappers in my stable, sports broker to the stars, Shawn Michaels, and the living legend himself, Brandon Lang. Hello, gentlemen.
Good day, Steve-O. Good day, Brandon. How we doing, boys?
Gun show, baby. The gun show.
It's a good thing we don't drug test at Sports Advisors. All right, everybody knows there's no love lost between you guys. We have a very competitive environment here at my company where everybody's kind of like an independent contractor, competing for their market share. In other words, this is a great example of the free marketplace at its best. That being said, guys, I just ask that you please be as civil as possible, but don't hold anything back. We're all big boys here. We're all wearing our big boy undies. So I think you guys can just let it rip, no problems. And before I get started, I just want to do something a little different here, right? Instead of me asking the first couple of questions, I'm going to ask you guys. And I just want to say right off the bat that nobody has the questions in advance. In the spirit of spontaneity, we're going to keep it raw. Everyone's hearing this for the first time. I want to get everybody's immediate reaction. So before I ask the questions, guys, I'm going to ask each one of you to ask each other a question first. And first I'll turn to Shawn. Shawn, what's your question for Brandon?
Brandon, look, I love you, buddy. I have mad respect for you. If there is a goat in this business, it is definitely you. But how many fucking times do I have to hear about your Super Bowl record? I mean, we're in October. Don't you think everyone is tired about hearing about your Super Bowl record?
Shawn, I get asked that question a lot. I get stopped in sportsbook and get credited with having that Super Bowl record. And quite frankly, my answer is the same. It's the greatest Super Bowl record that there will ever be in the history of sports gambling. And why can't other gamblers talk about their Super Bowl record? Because it doesn't come close. They can't make the claim to have the greatest Super Bowl record known to mankind. Quite frankly, they never will. And why does my Super Bowl record kind of supersede regular statistics and wins and losses? Well, that's another great question. And it's a simple answer. You see, no matter what I make my Super Bowl rating, and I tell gamblers only bet what you can afford to lose on the Super Bowl, they never listen. They are going to try to get back their entire year of wins and losses on this one game, no matter what I say. It's in their DNA. It's go for broke. That's it. That's all there is to it. So when I release my Super Bowl, and everybody bets everything they own to get out of a year full of losses, what I've really done is I've bailed out gamblers from a horrible football season and made them a winner at the end of the year. That, my friend, is why I remind them all season long that no matter what happens, Beeling's got your Super Bowl winner.
And I'm chuckling a little bit because the bailout perspective is great, and I love that. It's actually a great answer, and that was a great answer like 3 different times. There were 3 different times where I thought you were closing, and I said to myself, that's a great answer. You were just getting warmed up. You were just getting warmed up.
Guys, Brandon, with all due respect here, if you had more winners, you wouldn't have to bail them out in the first fucking place.
No.
It's there.
I'm bailing them out. I'm not bailing my son out.
I'll put my record up against anybody.
Nice try, pal. We always know who writes more sales than anybody at the website.
All right, it didn't
but
take.
Shawn, by the way, my question for you: everybody knows teasers are sucker bets, but all you do is release teasers, more teasers than anybody. Why are you the sucker?
All right, so that's the question, Shawn. Why do you release so many teasers when they're often called sucker bets?
I mean, look, it's true. Most people consider teasers sucker bets. All right, shit. Some people think all bets are sucker bets, guys. I mean, even a straight bet is considered a 50-50 proposition, right? But when you lose, you pay to 11 to 10 on. So how sharp is that? Guys, what makes a fucking sucker bet is usually the sucker who is betting it. All right?
Now, that makes a lot of sense. And when you look at your record, Shawn, obviously You're no sucker. That was a great exchange, guys. But now it's my turn, and I have to ask Brandon. You bet a lot of underdogs in football, and I guess a lot of customers want to know why. I mean, there's no proof that dogs win more than favorites, and customers just want a winner, right? So you brag about underdogs winning outright, and they often do when you lay them and play them, excuse me. But no extra money is won when a dog wins outright. So why are you always bragging about that? What gives?
Boy, I'm really glad you asked me that question. When you're the #1 guy at a website, you write more sales than anybody, and that's not to be disputed. It's validated and documented. Anybody can tell guys that are putting their trust in you or how you're validating your opinion with them by releasing 32-point favorites or 41-point favorites or Ohio State or Ohio's at that. But when you're giving people a 14-point underdog as a 200-dime winner that wins outright by 2 touchdowns, guys who I have met in sportsbook often tell me, man, that's just a great call. And the reason why I say outright is because if I release a 200-dime on a dog plus the points, I guarantee you most of my customers are sprinkling a little bit of money line in there as well. And when you're a guy searching the web for picks and you see a guy who's at 9 of his last 10 with 7 underdogs outright, that tells me he's got a damn sharp opinion. And that's how you write money on an internet website, gentlemen.
Well, that is a great answer, B. And now I switch over to Sean with a question for you. Sean, you come from a Wall Street background, finance, background. What's the symmetry between being a financial analyst in the market and being a handicapper?
Steve, that's a good question. I think the biggest skill set that I was able to bring over from finance into sports handicapping is discipline. The difference between a successful trader and a loser is usually 2 things. Number 1, money management, as I mentioned. Number 2, emotion. And a lot of times they go hand in hand. When traders are trading from emotion, they're toast. When gamblers are gambling on emotion, they're toast. In sports, like trading, discipline is everything.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. Trying to chase losers, trying to feel like a team that lost for you owes you something and betting double on them the next time. Those are all emotional decisions. When you make an emotional decision, I agree. It never
Emotional get you killed, Steve-O. You know that.
Never works out. You're absolutely right. Okay, B, it's a known fact. You're genuinely and generally the last guy to release his plays on the site. It's always last. You're always, everyone's got their plays in, and then comes Brandon's plays. Why you always wait until the last minute?
Usually on big selling days, Saturday and Sunday, that's when I'll come with a big play. I have usually 3 that I would rate the same. The reason why I wait is I want to see what everybody else has on the site. I don't want guys who are buying picks on our website with 10 handicappers that 4 are on one side or 5 are on one side of a big selling day. I have 2 other big plays that I can release. I often like to wait to make sure there's not 6 of us on the same side and make sure that my release, last Sunday in the NFL, perfect example, only got the website that had Arizona plus the points over Green Bay. I like it that way. I don't like other guys being on my side. I want to isolate and be the only guy on one side. Monday nights are different because it's only 1 or 2 games. But on a big board, I just want to have my side to myself.
Brandon Lang, hoarding the winners. I like that. I like it. Sean, you're quite the opposite. You usually are one of the first people to release your plays on the site. What's the wisdom behind that?
Steve, I don't want to get influenced by any bets that anyone else is making. I want to win or lose based on my opinion. And I know from trading the financial markets that my first opinion is always my best opinion. Anything after that is honestly reactionary.
That makes a lot of sense. You always want to be responding and not reacting. I love that. All right, so this has been a great spirited conversation. I do have one more question, and it's for you, Sean, and then I'm going to let Brandon get the last word and kind of say whatever he wants to say, which I know is odd to everybody, right? Brandon saying what he wants to say. We never see that. General Manager Al Demarco recently tapped you, Sean, to take over the reins as the new face of the business as he begins to slide to the background and handle the behind-the-scenes oversight of the company. He's chosen you to fill his shoes, and those are mighty big shoes. Any pressure?
Steve, not at all. First of all, Al and I are best friends. But more importantly, we share the same philosophy when it comes to how to run a sports gambling business. So here's the good news, Steve-O. I'm more than confident the business will run the way that it always has run under Al. He taught me so much, but the most important thing that I learned from him is sales strategy. Always check my ego at the door and always do the next right thing. But I also learned to never, under any circumstances, underestimate the intelligence of our customers. That's the Al Demarco way, and it's my way too. So don't worry, Steve-O, the future looks bright.
All right, I like to hear that. All right.
Well, the reason why the future looks bright.
I was just going to say, Brandon, do you want to get the last word? Go ahead, B.
Yeah. You know why the future looks bright? Because he's got me. That's why it looks bright.
And you guys have each other.
I got to put on shades. The future's so bright, guys.
I'll send you a nice pair.
I can feel the love in the room. It's awesome. All right, that'll do it. I think this was a lively, spirited conversation. No one can deny that. I'm hoping we can do more of this in the future. So for now, I'm Steve Budin for Brandon Lang and Shawn Michaels. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you all soon. Stay lucky.